Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy HMSA 2012 here, back at it again. And this time, I like to present to you guys the new A team, aka the Inglewood Infestation, formerly known as the Inglewood Incineroars. And today, I'm here to announce that with our roster drafts being completed now, I will be participating in the fourth season of the Pokemon Ultimate Battle League, sponsored by the Pokemon Battle and Trade Community on Facebook. So, just a quick recap. Last season, I went to playoffs 9-7. Didn't do really good as I expected to. Then I drafted LeBron James, and everything went uphill from there. But anyways, I decided to participate in the next season again, just because Pokemon has really it's not really interesting right now. Because FIFA 19 is basically consuming my life, and yeah, this will be the fourth season. This will be my second season playing, but fourth overall for the league. So yeah, let's get right to it. So, the goons! Inglewood Infestation, we got the Z Captain Volcanora, which was my tier 1 draft, followed by Mega Lopunny, free Mega, and Busted too. And we also got rotom-wash as their tier 2, Chansey, Swampert, Nidoking as tier 3, Excadrill is also a tier 1 as well. And actually, I'm going to go throughout each of these Pokemon more in details. So just hang in there tight. We got Flexing Like Machamp, Cofagrius, I don't know how to say that name, Antiblade was a tier 4, and Solrock. Solrock rounding it off as a tier 5. So I basically used up all my points, and basically the rules is just win, 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 baby, win. And all you gotta do is that I got 3 free agents I can choose from throughout the season. There's a deadline before free agency is closed, but I have the ability to swap out 3 months for any 3 as long as I meet budget, or essentially have the same tier points. So if I, for example, if I want to trade my Excadrill for 180, I can get a tier 1 because it's also 180 as well. So the Z Captain points, obviously it maxes 100. I chose Volk because a tier 1 Captain, I believe, gets 80 points, and that basically eats up the entire captain's Z Captain's points. And I could give it a Solrock, but I don't care. Solrock is booty. But anyways, let's get right to it. So the first mon, Volcanora, busted. I mean, this thing in OU and singles format, it don't matter. This mon is always going to be busted as crap. But part of its features is that one unique characteristics as being the Z Captain, being the head honcho of the team, is that this is going to be the LeBron James of this team. This Volcanora can do whatever it wants. It don't matter if you are a T-Tar with Assault Vest, Max Def, Max HP. It's going to blow you away with Bug EMZ. Give me some +2 Quiver Dances and you dead. I actually don't remember the count, so I don't know if that's true or not. Anyways, the first unique feature of Volcanora is it has access to various Z moves. It has Giga Drain, so it has Bloom Doom, Fire moves for Inferno Overdrive, Psychic for Psyche EMZ, Bug Buzz for Bug EMZ. And it also has, I think that's it as far as I'm concerned, but it can also use other Z moves as well. I'd have to remember. Oh, Fly EMZ because it has access to Hurricane, which is actually going to be a very interesting / cool move to use. I don't see myself using it, but you never know. It actually has a nice speed tier. Its max speed is 326, which unfortunately loses out to base 100, since base 100 is 328. But after Quiver Dance, this thing is going to be kind of threatening. But 2 Quiver Dances will be enough to outspeed anything pretty much that is scarfed in the draft that is unboosted. Obviously, Quiver Dance makes this super unique mon into a more busted mon, because you can just blow everything out. It actually, as a fire and bug, obviously has weaknesses to rocks, water type moves, flying type moves, and all that. But the thing is that it actually has a decent base HP, and it has somewhat good bulk on the special defensive side. Defensive side, not really. Biz def, that's what I'm referring to. But this mon can pretty much can take a couple hits, believe it or not. And I can mess around with its EVs to make it adjusted or suited for, you know, more physically based matchups. And obviously, being a fire type in the league is, you know, something you guys will see throughout a lot of matches. Not even just me, but for a lot of coaches, that the fire type is very usually the fire types are usually very versatile. They can learn multiple moves, and they're just capable of just hitting a team up by surprise. Oh, Volcanar can also run HP ground, HP ice, HP electric, depending on, you know, matchup based. So really a surprise factor. I think this will be my LeBron James of the team. Uh, not outside of the weakness to rocks, which I will be dealing with, which I have a couple months that can deal with that. I think it's a really nice tier 1 overall, and I just love Volcanora as it's like I said, in singles format, it's just busted, man. Ever since 5th gen, you know, damn, this thing's amazing. Anyways, on to the next round, Megalopony. Now, initially, I was thinking about drafting Rain, but Tapu Koko and Tornado's Therian form was taken in the first round, I believe, or second, I don't remember. But if I would have gone Tapu Koko for some reason, by some miracle, if I would have gone Tapu Koko, I probably would have drafted Rain right off the bat. But alas, we're here, and we're here with the Mega Lopunny. So, you guys already know Mega Lopunny already. It's a fast Mega. It hits ridiculously hard like a truck. It has 2 special unique priorities in Feint, which breaks Protect, Fake Out, which obviously, you know, first turn flinch, and Quick Attack. Gives me some decent speed. Gives me some decent speed options in case I'm up against a sweeper that has been weakened. Mega Lopunny can just clean them off. Scrappy. I technically do have a couple ghost resist and slash immunities, but Lopunny can pretty much hit very hard, regardless of who you are. So high jump kick for me isn't really much of a problem, unless my opponent's running protect or something that protects them in that turn. So high jump kick, and speaking about, you know, high jump kick, the stab moves of Lopunny are pretty decent. I have return, slash frustration, high jump kick, drain punch, quick attacks. A lot of the moves that Lopunny usually runs are boosted by stab, which is pretty impressive for a mon that max speed I think is 405 and decent attack at 371 Jolly. It's pretty decent. Really, really great Mega. And also gives me a ghost immunity as well. Obviously, Mega Lopunny will be used in a more bulky offensive team, but you know, things can adjust depending on who I'm facing based on a round-to-round matchup. And yeah, overall, I think Lopunny is a really paired up with Volcanora. It's a pretty decent pairing. A special and a fast special and a fast physical mon. Both have it. There you go. My 2 offensive cores. Next we have up is rotom-wash. Rotom-wash gives us the ground immunity, and it can actually be very versatile. It can be used on offensive and defensive pivot mon. It has access to Hydro Pump, Volt Switch, Thunder, T-Bolt, the Hidden Power, Grass usually, Ice, Will-O-Wisp. It just basically can do everything while giving my team the ground immunity. And obviously it can, the reason why I have this is rotom-wash is because I want rocks out of Volcanora's way. So obviously I chose rotom-wash because it gives me the first step towards hazard removal in defog. And it can also spread status with T-Wave, Will-O-Wisp, Toxic depending on matchup. So this mon can be pretty annoying for some of my opponents to deal with. And it has nice bulk as well, so again, you guys are starting to see a pattern of bulky offense. And Rotom can also obviously take hits as well. I don't think he can ever die in one hit unless it's like a freaking solar beam. But yeah, overall really good mon. Volt Switch, obviously I needed something to give it a pivot in my team, so my beat sticks can just go in there and smack my opponents up. Next up we have Chansey. And Chansey, to me personally, I hate using Chansey. But you know what? I gotta solve some of my defensive issues with the team. 3 out of the 4 are bulky offensive mons you see in teams. But guess what? I need something that has to be my anchor, my Draymond Green to the team. And Chansey is definitely gonna be one of them. And I think Chansey's gonna, along down the road, Chansey's gonna be pretty important. Obviously, it provides defensive utility. So I found out a couple months ago that Chansey actually has access to Wish. And when you pass on a Wish to a Mon, it takes into the HP of Chansey, not the Mon that's receiving the Wish effect. So basically, I get a full heal as long as my opponent doesn't hit my Mon, or my Mon doesn't die before Wish activates. So Chansey can be a really good defensive utility. Obviously, it can only attack with Seismic Toss. It can spread Toxic, T-Wave. It has Aromatherapy if my team is crippled with status. It has Soft Growth for itself. And I said, Wish is a really good move on it that can help my team out a lot. And it's a Stealth Rock setter. I forgot to write that down there. But anyways, it doesn't die, essentially. Eviolite gives it the extra necessary bulk for it to take on the beat sticks of the league. Natural Cure is a really good move as well, because if someone tries to spore me, ability, because if someone tries to put it to sleep, or T-wave it, make me lose, I get to switch out and you wasted your turn. But yeah, Chansey, really good special defensive wall. Kind of solves the water issue of my team, even though we have Rotom already. It solves a lot of the grass issues as well, if Volt dies for some reason. Also for special type dragons and ice type moves are special as well. This thing can just soak them all up. And it can be quite annoying in the end game. Next up we have Swampert. In leagues, I'm not really comfortable running starters that are not megas. But in this instance, after playing a lot of UU, I started realizing that Swampert is he's pretty good. I prefer the Mega and Rain teams because it's busted, but regular Swampert does pretty well on its own. It can run Leftovers, Rocky Helmet. If I want to go brazy, I can go for Choice Band. And this thing's kind of a threat. And this is the first Mon that has electric immunity. So for those of you running Pikachus and Tapu Kokos, yeah, nah, I ain't messing with that. This also gives me another option for Stealth Rocks. This thing is fat. I think its max HP is 404 and defense, I think it's in the 300s. So this thing could be a physical wall and can be really paired up with Chansey very well to give me a nice defensive utility core. Obviously, this thing has rocks. It also has access to Roar, which I can just phase out any sweeper if it can take the hit, which is actually pretty important because a lot of teams that I build don't really have much of an answer to sweepers that are like at +2 or +3. And that's where the Roar comes in for Swampert. And Scald as itself is really a stupid move. Like, Burning, I think burns in right next to Thunder Wave, I think, or Paralysis, I should say. Burning is actually kind of busted in draft because if it's one of your physical type attackers, yeah, it's pretty much done. But if with the burn, that means Swampert can even take better hits. Chansey doesn't become weak to or prone to physical attacks. And Swampert is just bulky overall. This is a defensive wall that has offensive capabilities, and it doesn't care about your fire types unless you have HP Grass or Solar Beam or Energy Ball or anything that is grass. It's a nice answer to answer to fire types, electrics. And overall, I think paired with Chansey gives a nice defensive core. Next up, we got Flexing Like Machamp. Now, Fighting Stab is really good on Machamp. Close Combat is I think it's most powerful stab type move right next to Dynamic Punch. But the reason why I wanted to choose Machamp is that it also can provide offensive defensive ability. It can run Assault Vest. It can run the Toxic Orb. Flame Orb. it can run a lot of items that can throw an opponent off by surprise. And speaking about surprises, its move pool can definitely become an unpredictability factor for Machamp. It can run the elemental punches. It can run close combat. It can run priority with bullet punch. It can run BS with dynamic punch with no guard. It can run stone edge. It can run earthquake. It can run fire blast if you need to hit feral thorns. It can run poison jab for fairies. This thing is just overall, I decided to choose Machamp because it has a nice bulk and it gives the team an unpredictability factor, which could be really important when it comes down to late game. So the next Pokemon that I have that I drafted was Excadrill. Now, it gives me another electric resist paired with Swampert, but most importantly, it gives me two things: a fairy resist and a dragon resist. Excadrill is a lot more bulkier than it looks, and what stats may seem otherwise. Because this thing is really high in HP. It has decent, I guess, defenses, but it can take a hit. Excadrill is also in a decent speed tier. 302 max speed isn't that bad for what it is. But more likely, I'm only going to be using it for as a hazard setter and remover as well. But the main thing I liked about Excadrill in the draft was that it can run multiple items. It can run Choice Scarf for speed control. It can run Leftovers for bulk. It can run Focus Sash for suicide leads. Again, this is another mon that... Oh, and its ability, Mold Breaker, is really good against those that levitate. And even if they do, I'm going to throw you with a rock move. So, I think Excadrill being my primary steel type mon is really good because Dragon and Fairy are kind of busted in draft. So I don't think I would have a problem. But going down the list, we got another beast in Cofagrius. You can't kill it. It's already a mummy. Like, what? Is there anything else I need to explain? Its ability in Mummy is really good, as negating abilities is kind of good. It's kind of a niche kind of thing in draft leagues and even battles in general, but Mummy can actually stop a lot of mons from becoming threatening. Mega Metachamp with huge power. Mega Mawile, pure power. I'm sorry. Mega Metachamp has pure power. Mawile has huge power. It can stop Mold Breakers. It can stop, Pokemon that start becoming some threats. This thing's defense is defensively bulky on the Fizz Def. This thing can spread status. Will-O-Wisp. Toxic. It has one of the most important things that I consider to be really good. I believe it can use Haze. If I'm not, if I'm not right, then I just wasted my draft pick. But I think it does. I hope. But anyways, it's another hazard setter in the team in the form of Toxic Spikes. Just chipping away the opponent early during the games are going to come down to damage counts when you need to KO something. When Mega Lopunny and Volk need that extra help, T-Spikes with a combination of rocks can definitely help out. He has good stab moves. Shadow Ball. Hex. Really good stab type pool. Also has access to Calm Mind. Trick Room if I want to do something brazy. But yeah, it's really bulky. I think its max HP is 424, which is pretty damn bulky for a coffin. But I decided to pick Cofagrius because the number one thing that I needed on my team was a fighting resist that isn't Volcanora, because I lose the fighting straight up. So having Cofagrius definitely solves that defensive issue, because Chansey can't take close combats or high jump kicks or drain punches, nor does Mega Lopunny. Volt can, but it's a bit too frail already. Machamp, Swampert, they can probably take him. Rotom can take him too. Excadrill can definitely not take it. So I decided to just bring on a Ghost type. I didn't use a Ghost type last season, but I'm really excited for having just a Ghost type on my team and what it can bring to the table. Especially a mon that can start causing problems with you if you're not really careful with it. Round 9, the Blade. So I thought that one fighting immunity isn't enough, so I decided to bring two. And the reason why I decided to bring the blade is because it's also bulky and has three immunities: normal, fighting, and poison. So it solves off the poison issues of my team as well, even though I have two resistance. Um, but it can't be affected by toxic spikes, which is pretty cool. Eviolite obviously gives it crazy bulk defensively. And again, this is another mon that gives me offensive and defensive capabilities. This thing with the Swords Dance can start becoming a threat, even though it's a bit slow. It's still with a +2 in attack with priority and with Shadow Sneak. It can be a problem if you can't kill it with a special defensive super effective move. Um, but one of the key components of the blade is that it resists Dragon, Fairy, and Steel. Um, the FDS core is just something that I had to solve. I had to think about when building the team as well, because I kind of auto lose to Dragon somewhat. So I had to bring something that can deal with it directly. Um, if it's a physical attacker, that's great because the blade can take a hit. Um, if it's special defensive, I got a chance to. So again, just switching the defensive core back and forth, the sponges of the team, I think it'll be a really great mon to use down the road. I really like the blade because it's designed more than likely, believe it or not. But using two Eviolite mons on a team seemed very interesting, and I think it'll be kind of challenging when it comes to free agency, because usually I only want one Eviolite mon, and I used one with Piloswine last year, and it didn't really do very well. So I really hope that the Eviolite users on this team can, step it up to the plate. So next we have Nidoking, the OG. I had him last season as a free agency along week 5 or 6, I believe. And this thing, along with two other ground type users in the trio and Gastrodon, started becoming threats. They were actually becoming threats to the team, and I really liked them very, very much. Everyone knows Life Force plus Sheer Force is just, it hits like a truck, and it has really good stat moves with Earth Power, Sludge Wave, but obviously you want the extra power in non-stat type moves with Flamethrower, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt. This thing can learn everything. Fire Blast. This thing can actually learn a lot of moves, and like Machamp, it gives an unpredictability factor as well. And this thing can also run Scarf, which I tested out in Season 3, and it kind of worked to somewhat of a success. But more importantly, it gives me a direct answer to Fairy's Tail. Sludge Wave, even without Life Orb, still does a lot. I don't think Clefable can take 3 hits from it. I think it gets 2 KO'd by Sludge Wave. So do the Tapus. It also has the ability to absorb T-Spikes. So if there are T-Spikes on the field and I don't have my defoggers there, or I don't want them, getting chipped by an unnecessary move, I have Nidoking to absorb them. Like I said, it's heavily offensive oriented. It can run a bunch of moves: Sludge Wave, Earth Power, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, Fire Blast. It can learn even on the physical side. If I want to do a physical Nidoking, it can learn that too, and it can definitely keep up with the special side. Though I would prefer special side, because a lot of my teammates are leaning towards the physical side, so I needed some special power. And another electric immunity. And last but not least, rounding it off is Solrock. Fun fact, a Solrock can actually wall a Mega Ray that doesn't have Waterfall, and a Primal Groudon that doesn't have Solar Beam. Go figure. So Solrock was like my meme of the pick. It gives me another ground immunity. It can set up dual screens if I really need them. But more than likely, just going to be a defensive mod. I don't really see Solrock being on the team for that long because it was just my random pick and I just wanted to get it over with. But I think it might provide some usefulness with screens. So we'll see if it's even going to be used. But anyways, pretty much that's my entire team. Um, yeah, overall, I kind of like my team. On paper, it doesn't seem like much can be done with this team. But you know what? I got a cool fish on the top 3 in kills. So you never know. But yeah, go support the Inglewood Infestation. As far as for my expectations, I think I see myself barely missing playoffs. Barely missing playoffs. I am in a tough division, and obviously the opponents in the league are going to be difficult as always because draft format, I'm not really used to it. But I see myself doing somewhat decent, but missing out on the playoffs. Anything up higher than that is just A plus in my book. So, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like and subscribe, and go support the Inglewood Infestation. Thank you, and have a blessed day.